And so, moving forward to the present day, Hans Rey's charity Wheels for Life is growing ever bigger and more effective in bringing the bicycle to those parts of the world where it's most needed. We recently joined Hans and his wife and Wheels for Life director Carmen on a trip to Africa to witness the end result of their efforts and to meet the people who make it possible on the ground.
Well, we just arrived here in Kenya. You know, most of these Wheels for Life projects, we have people who handle them for us on site, local charities or the local bishop, for example, like here. Every so often, Carmen and I come and visit these projects and make sure they run as we expect them to run and run smoothly and look after things and actually meet the people in person, not only the ones who help us facilitate these projects, but also the people who received bikes in the past and the people who receive them.
Well, today we have 40 bikes to distribute, and those who are recipients, potential recipients, are already here. They've been waiting anxiously and eagerly, waiting to have their lives also transformed, like the lives of the other 80 who have received the 80 bicycles.
They had already assembled all the bikes, had all the people ready there, they had them registered, had their IDs taken down. We had an exact list, and it was a very formal kind of festive occasion, and it was a big thing. You know, everybody puts on their nicest clothes. You can tell after coming here how important bicycles are in this part of the world. I mean, especially in the rural areas, the people who get them, they cherish them.
The people value these bikes like a baby. They treasure them, they maintain them. They tend them like one would tend a precious item. Here they value sheep and goats and babies, so they treasure the bikes like sheep, goats and babies. They love them.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It is his first bicycle ever in life to own.
Nice. Right on, man. Thank you. Jobs in this part of the world are very rare, really, and they're not always permanent. You know, you might have work for one day on a construction site and then you don't have work. But if you have a bike, you can get there, you know. And we met a few very great examples of people, like one guy who received a bike from us a few years ago. You could tell he had a really hard time walking, and the bike was a huge help for him, especially, I think he told us he had to cover 20 kilometers a day. He had a family at home with 2 children, and him getting to the construction sites, not only can he do it a lot more sufficient, but it just enables him to get work and support his family.
It takes $100 to buy a bike, and most of the average family here is about 10 people in the family with a salary of $150 a month to save enough to educate the children, and then buy a bicycle would not actually be feasible.
I was really moved there when we met a young boy called Sammy. He was only 9 years old when his father died, and he has a mother. He's now 13. He was given a bicycle. He has to look after his mother, who's disabled and widowed, and apparently both his sisters, he has 2 sisters, apparently they have learning disabilities, and his life is definitely challenging. But one thing's for sure, that bicycle's going to really help him.
We talk to the villagers themselves, and it is them who recommends who will be given a bicycle. And we feel very good because we are able to follow up the people, and there is accountability between us here in Kenya and the US, the donors, and also the people. We follow them up. Every month we meet with the people to see how they're doing and how their lives are being changed by the bicycles.
When we left the first project, we given bikes away. We were already quite a bit away, like 5 Ks or so, and all of a sudden I spotted this brand new bike on the side, and we were like, wait a minute, that's one of the bikes we just given away. So we stopped and talked to the guy, and he said, oh yeah, I live right around the corner. So we followed him to his house, and we got to see where he lives and his family, and how excited everybody and happy he was to have this bike, and what a great asset it was. When we first saw him, he was just showing it off at the local little shop there, you know, and everybody was like checking it out. So it's a big deal to get a bike here. That's very nice. Yeah, we usually buy the bikes always locally for our projects. It helps the local economy. We don't have all the shipping costs or the hassles that can happen with customs and all that. So these are really nice bikes that people will find spare parts for them locally. They come equipped with a lock, with a bell, with fenders so they don't get their uniforms dirty, with pumps and a little toolkit. And these people know how to help themselves. You know, these bikes today, they even have a really nice rack where people can transport their goods or other people. Nice bikes.
Very nice.
One of the boys we saw, he gotten the bike from us already a few years ago, and his bike was well worn already, but it was still running, but the tire was bare at one spot. Some of the spokes had broken, and he tied them together, like twisted them together to make it work, and he did a lot of home improvements on his bike, but it still worked, and he was out there on a Sunday, you know, bringing wood to the market.
Ultimately, our experience with Kenya, I think it's been good. It's very good, and to see people so happy, it's just it's an indescribable feeling. Let's change lives with bikes.